Hi everyone, my name is Eric and I'm the developer of an upcoming action platforming game called GB Rober, which is also a game about shooting your bosses and fighting for a better world that will be coming out to Steam and itch.io on October 13th, 2021, which is less than a month from now. And yeah, that's the release date, by the way, which I talked about last week, what I plan to announce later down the line. Anyway, let's talk about what happened this week and what will happen maybe next week and what I have planned to do and how everything went. So I plan to finish the press list. I did that more or less. I did send out the emails. I did announce I wanted to announce the release date, and I wanted to start working on the demo. I did all of these things. And another thing I did, and what I could remember of what I did, I also fixed some smaller stuff that I noticed. But one thing I also did was I tweaked some small stuff in the intro sequence. It's now slightly faster, so it now takes about 2 to 2.5 minutes and not 3 to 3.5 minutes. This is partially due to some feedback of someone asking if it might be possible to skip the intro sequence, which I won't do because it's part of the game's build-up, and also because I find it funny to have a game that's usually very fast and expressive to start with 2 minutes of you just standing there and having to do something very monotonous. And yeah, so I did that. There's also a small thing that I added where so again, the intro sequence is you standing somewhere and coins falling out of a pipe, or not coins falling out of a pipe, but objects falling out of a pipe that you can shoot, and then coins explode out of that. And you can't move during that sequence, and any coin, basically the only coins you collect, so to speak, which are basically completely useless. They don't serve any purpose in the rest of the game. But anyway, the only coins you quote-unquote collect are those that directly land on you, and they're coins that they basically flow away in a random directions. And one thing I did was that all the coins and most of them fall down into a pit, kind of suggesting that when you work within capitalist society as a worker, most of the value you create gets siphoned off and gets paid into your boss's pockets, and the rest, and you're basically left with a tiny fraction of what your work actually has created, the value your work actually has created. But anyway, and there's a pit, and what I did was, I'm also realizing I should have maybe put a GIF in here, but who cares? You can look at my Twitter account, or the @Mokograd Twitter account, and you can see a GIF there. All the coins that land in front of the GB Rober now very slowly move towards the pit, which is very funny. And this also gave me the very short lasting idea that maybe I should just do basically pull out the intro sequence of GB Rober and just make that as the game's demo for the Steam Next Fest, where basically, you just play this monotonous thing for 10 minutes, and that's it. And I did find this idea, and I still find it very funny, and at the same time, I don't think that it's a very good idea, and I'm not to some degree, I'm willing to sacrifice whatever reach I might get with my game, or whatever audience I might get with my game, just to do a silly joke. But I don't think that this is a good way to do things. So I'm not doing that. But I have been thinking about this. Instead, I did start working on the demo itself, which is the 4 main stages, but the shorter versions of them. And that's it. It's mostly done. What's now left is basically a screen that tells you that you finished the demo, with some other statistics around them, and some more information around when you start the demo, what this demo includes, what it doesn't include, what the full game might be like, that as well. And let's think. Oh yeah, and also I have to get the demo get approved by Valve, which hasn't happened yet. I submitted it yesterday, but I might have did a mistake with the build upload. So yeah, that's the other thing that I'm trying to get done fairly soon, just to have something up there and have the demo quote unquote available, because the Steam Next Fest demos get the press gets a week earlier access to those. Again, I don't expect a lot of press to play this, but still, it's something I would like to do and get done. Also realizing that my camera is very dark today because it's not very bright outside. Let me just be very, very, very unprofessional. That's the wrong oh my god. That's perfect. Let me be very unprofessional and adjust stuff while I'm recording and not start the recording over, because no, thank you. I have other things to do today. Anyway, so that's kind of what I did this week, last week. The launch date announcement was kind of interesting in that I prepared as much as I could, but I think I made some mistakes in terms of really having a plan on what to do on that day exactly. I basically had okay, yeah, I need to write 1 or 2 tweets and send them out, and that's it. And that led to me basically, okay, I send out those tweets, and then I was sitting there and nothing was really happening, and I was thinking, yeah, okay, and now what? And I need to have a better plan for these kinds of days, not in terms of okay, and then I'm full of activity or whatever, but more just in the sense of, okay, if I send this thing out, just go outside, go for a walk for an hour, don't look at the internet, don't look at Twitter, and just don't care about it, because this led to me being kind of very negative about the day, despite it going okay. It didn't go as well as the announcement of the Steam page went back in June, but that was kind of I think a series of very happy coincidences to some degree. So that's the other part. So you have to keep things in perspective, and also the more important part about all of this is keeping the stuff going, no matter how pointless it sometimes feels. I had yesterday I had a day where I felt okay, why do anything really about this? But that's not that isn't helpful. You saying, okay, I'm just not doing any marketing, who cares, who gives a shit, means that nothing will happen. You at least doing something creates the likelihood that something might happen. It's as silly as it sounds. So doing something is always, it's usually, not always, you can if you not very thoughtful about what you want to do, you can make have a negative impact, but usually when you have a bit of a plan, whatever you do is more beneficial than doing nothing. So it's still there. It's still sometimes you just have to adjust yourself and be good with that. So that's kind of a thing I had yesterday. I'm still sort of dealing with them. It's I kind of want to try and readjust parts in the way of how I present GB Robo over on Twitter and whatever, and try some different things out and see if maybe I can get a bit more attention on it and get more people to check out the game. And yeah, but anyway, what I have planned this week is to finish the demo, hopefully maybe today, probably not today, but definitely by the end of the week I should be done. And then plan out what to do for the Steam Next Fest. There's a bunch of stuff that I have to do. I have to contact press again, that the demo is playable, just in case someone plays it, who knows. I have like there's like the opportunity to stream on your Steam page and like also to stream Steam's like festival front page, whatever. Then I have to test this. Like the last time I tried to stream towards my like on my Steam page or on GB Robert's Steam page, it didn't work. So I have to like see what went wrong there and like try to do it, like experiment and try to do it better, and also have to think about, okay, what do I want to stream? The positive thing with that, okay, I'm just going to put GB Robert's intro sequence into like as the demo up, was that I could just stream myself over an hour just doing the intro sequence and like shooting coins and nothing else, and just be like as monotonous and boring as possible, kind of like an art installation, I guess. But again, that's not what this is. I'm thinking about like at least one of those streams to be like attempt of me like trying to speedrun the demo, like trying to get through it as fast as possible, and also probably thinking about ways how I can show how the game plays and what elements are in there, like in terms of like movement systems and all that kind of stuff, because I feel this is something, sure, you can kind of see it in like the trailers and whatever, but like having like trying to show like some of the like layers that are in that games in terms of interaction and all that stuff, I think is like maybe a good idea. That, and like again, I think speedrunning would be a nice idea. I'm still considering for the demo to do like a thing where like it shows your time by the end and like compares it to basically a reference time that I'm going to set at some point, just to like maybe entice some people to try and beat that time and try and play the game as quickly as they can, and like trying to find ways to optimize their own approach through it, and find ways to like again be more efficient in the game. I think that could be fun, and just like as a thing again to motivate people to spend more time with the game than just, okay, I played it for 5 minutes, alright, I'm going to go and do something else, which also is okay, but just in case for people who might be interested in like really getting into something, just like showing them that like there are ways to like engage with this game on such a level that I think it would be interesting to try and beat it as fast as possible, for example, or like try to like find your own challenges in that. It's like the same idea I had behind like a lot of GB Robert's achievements, which are like a lot of them are built around like motivating players to engage in the game in strange ways, and find ways to like get through those things with these restrictions in place. So I think like again it could be interesting. What we'll have to see. And yeah, and like whatever else is necessary to plan for the Steam Next Fest, I have no idea, but like this is like stuff that I have to keep in mind and have to do and have to think about what might be a good idea to do. And obviously this also like is all stuff that kind of like very like continuously will move into the launch preparations, because the launch of GB Roberts I think 5 days after the Steam Next Fest is over. So it's kind of like basically me having a few more weeks to like of like runway to like ramp everything up and like trying to keep the noise level, so to speak, as high as possible over these 2 weeks until the game's out then. And then I'll probably fall into my bed and sleep for 2 weeks. I mean, yeah, more or less. Like I'll probably take some kind of longer break after that, but until then, it's try to do it as good as you can, and hopefully it'll all work out. I'm going to do my best. I'm still like moderately optimistic about how the game will do. I'm fairly optimistic that it'll do better than Splinter Zone did. I'm fairly sure of. How much better, I have no idea. Probably not that much better, but still, it's after 4 years of not having released a video game, I think that's like I'm about as good like in terms of like everything around that as I can be. I'm very happy about the state the game's in. I've already said that a lot, but it's still very much true. Like and I said this like in a different place already, but like I on Monday I was fiddling around with a platformer like prototype thing for like a possible next game, and like mostly like fiddling around with the movement physics of the potential player character. And one thing I realized as I was working on it was that I was slowly tweaking the movement physics so that it feels closer to how GB Roba feels to play. And then I caught myself thinking, if I already made GB Roba, why am I like now working towards making it again? If like there's no, like I don't have to make a whole new platformer if I just want to make GB Roba again. I could just make another GB Roba game if I would want that, which I don't really want to do for next game. I still have ideas for like potential future GB Roba games because they're like way too funny not to do, and I really like the whole like the way like everything I structured around it and all that. But so that was kind of like an interesting thing for me, where I kind of like got to the point like mentally where I was thinking maybe it's time to kind of like move on from platformers for a moment and do something else, which also is something I wanted to do after Splinter Zone came out, and that didn't work all that well. So we'll have to see how that goes. But at least now it's like if I completely run out of ideas and have nothing that really works or that I'm satisfied with, I can always make another GB Roba, and that's cool. I always have that to fall back on now. Which is kind of great. But anyway, that's been like this week and the last week and how everything is going to go. And yeah, so as always, if you want to know more about the game, like want to get more information and all that kind of stuff, feel free to follow @Mokograd on Twitter. You can see a lot of GIFs there and all that kind of stuff, and like other stuff from the game's development and other kind of announcement that might happen. You can subscribe to an email newsletter, which is fairly infrequent. I did send out an email last week about the release date, but again, like if you just want to have like these larger announcements, like, oh, a game's coming out on a different platform, there's like a huge thing happening in some way, then like subscribing to the email newsletter would get you that. And obviously, like subscribing to this YouTube channel will get you like notified, and you know once these videos go up, and also live stream archives. Should I remember to upload and do them, which I haven't the last 2 weeks because busy with other stuff. But I'll get back to those at some point definitely. And yeah, so I think that's it. I hope you have a nice week. It's going to be very interesting. It's less than a month now until the game gets out, which is very weird, but at the same time it'll be cool. I think I'm really excited to see how people react to the game in total, and it'll be interesting. Anyway, I hope you have a nice week and see you soon. Bye.